Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes. Here are my dusty, dirty wings. The first step in this process to change out retracts is to remove the current mechanical retracts. So just undo the link connections here, remove the servo, and then flip the wings over and unscrew the actual retracts. Also, wipe down these dirty wings. All right, we've removed the servo and the mechanical retracts. I didn't remove the different control linkages that are in there. I didn't realize this model had these linkages in there. If you can see that. So when I bought the retracts, I didn't realize the mechanical ones were so far deep into here, and these, the top of them, need to be at surface height of the wing. So I'm going to have to build up plywood, laminated plywood blocks to mount this to. We have to cut away some of the plywood here, and hopefully that's not going to weaken it. Maybe I'll cut away up here, but maybe add it down to here. So I also need to, well, I was going to have to fill in these screw holes because they aren't going to match up with the new retract. So I was going to do the old wood dowel method, but since I've got to put such deep blocks of plywood in here, the screws won't reach down to that level, and I'm going to drill new screw holes, so it's not going to matter. So if I make these go up as far as possible, then I laid out a wheel on here, and it looks like the wheel is going to fit within the wheel well. Now keep in mind, I mean, the linkages are going to be sticking out a bit, so the wheel is going to be sticking out probably a ½ inch or so. So that's the next adventure. Get those plywood blocks in there and cut away that area, and try to get one retract to fit first to make sure it's going to work before I do the other side. I've removed the old retracts, and you notice the old retract had the mounting part on the bottom of the retract. The new ones have it on the top. So what I had to do was laminate with high sol some plywood blocks. I think there were, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 blocks that I cut. Had to drill out a portion to fit these small round protrusions, and had to chip away a little bit from this balsa stringer, but I'm not touching the plywood spar, so that's okay. Had to cut away some of this. So now these things aren't moving with that high sol in there, and being laminated, they should be really strong. So hopefully the retracts won't be breaking out. So now I need to actually mount the retracts, screwing in 4 screws, unscrewing them, putting thin CA over the threads, let it cure, screw the things back in. I've got to first mount wheels on here. I was hoping I might have some new wheels the same size, but I do not, because these have definitely been worn a bit, but they're what I'm going to have to use, unless they don't fit on the axles, which are here and are pretty thick. So I didn't think about that until just now. There's some room I can drill that out. So it's going to be a decent fit, I think, for the wheels to go on with the axles. So I've got to get those set up so they're coming out the right way. That's what's next. I'll check in a bit. What have I done? Well, I had to re-drill the axles. They didn't quite fit on the strut. I had to drill the wheels to fit on the axles. Then the left side, it was just too tight. The fit was just too tight along here, and I had it extended as far as I can go to where the set screw in the axle is still grabbing onto the strut. And I've got this moved up as forward as far as it'll go. Now I think I fixed it by removing this, and I'll recover the gray, so hopefully nobody will notice it. Let's see. Then I've noticed there's a decent amount of slop in these things, so I'll be interested to see how they're tracking. After I did that, I had it all put together. Then I had to realign the wheels so they're not cocked one way or another. So I think we're good to go now. I also put on a clear coat of fuel proofing, so that's on there and that's dry. I'm gonna put covering on here, put covering on these guys. So, put covering here. So we'll clean it up a little bit, but we're almost to the point of screwing them in, almost home. I also removed these bell cranks from inside there where that hole is. Saved a little bit of weight, and maybe I'll use them again someday, who knows. Oh yeah? You gonna do the introduction again? Aw, what a good helper. She's been helping me on top of the stool. So, retracts are now mounted. Man, getting these screws in there without stripping them was a PIA majorly. But they're in. This one sticks out a little bit, but I don't care. It's an old model. Like I said, I just want to try to get 2 seasons out of it, maybe 3, before I completely retire it. I got a little aggressive on one of my saws or the Dremel and poked a hole through here, so I had to do a little bit of touch up, which I could not find this green. So I've got three shades of green and none of them match this. So we had to go with that, but that's what we're gonna do. Added servo keepers there. Friend printed those for me and got the labeling done. Set up a little 4-inch extension to connect it at the field. Got the labeling done, so that means everything is done. So now, what's next? The spinner is painted, but I've got to do clear coat on it. And that is going to add some weight and add some weight in the nose. And I've got to see where to put the battery. So I've got to wait till I clear coat the spinner, which I'll probably do in the next week. And after that's cured, then I'll figure out where the battery goes by doing the CG measurement on it. And then it'll be a matter of firing it up, which I really should take the cowl off when I do that and just fire it up here and get it dialed in rather than doing that up at the field. So I will probably do that, but the next step is the spinner. That's why if you saw in my videos, I kind of jumped around and put the spinners in the middle of doing other stuff. The spinner for the Hanger 9 P40 here and the Hanger 9 Spitfire that fell apart on me just from too much oil. So I've got to transfer it to a new Hanger 9 Spitfire. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. If it helped you or you think it'll help future people, you're welcome to stop by my Patreon page and, throw in $1 a month or something, about the price of a cup of coffee. It'll help me get new camera and sound equipment, try to improve, and also can help towards new projects. But if not, that's okay too. Hope you enjoy, and blue skies and fair winds. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dan from Dan's Planes. I just want to share some content about RC planes, something I've been passionate about since childhood. I'm hoping I can teach something to someone, I can start some discussion and learn some things from others. So let's just have some fun and learn some things together. If you enjoyed what you watched, it would really help me out if you could like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel that it helped you out in some way, or it might help future viewers, I'd really appreciate it if you'd visit my Patreon page and become a patron. It's like throwing a dollar tip into a guitar case when you pass by. It helps to fund future content and future projects that I'll be working on. I plan to show some past content. I have some other flights and I have some fly-in events that I've been to. And I also plan to show future flights and future repairs, as well as building ARFs, and if I can ever get back to it, building my top flight Spitfire. So there's a lot of content to come, but it's viewers like you that are able to support what I'm doing, and by doing that, I'm able to spend more time creating that content in the future. So I'd really appreciate it. But either way, thanks for watching, and thanks for any support, and I wish you blue skies and good speed.